Now it's time for Big Deal or No Big Deal on Countdown to Kickoff.
All right, folks, Anthony Calhoun alongside former Indianapolis Colts tight end Ken Dilger. Time now for Big Deal or No Big Deal. 3 burning Colts topics ahead of Week 16 today against the Steelers. So let's welcome back in once again Charlie Clifford, live there in Heinz Field. And I know Charlie, he's always ready to go, and it's 60 degrees like he was in Las Vegas a couple of weeks ago, or 20 degrees there in Pittsburgh. So here we go. Question number 1, fellas. The Colts have lost 6 straight games to the Steelers. Now 3 of them by 3 points or less. Is the series history a big deal or no big deal for today's game? Ken, I'm going to start with you.
I'm going to say this is a big deal. I think you kind of look at what the Colts want to do and what the Pittsburgh has done. Pittsburgh's been really good in the last 10, 12, 15 years. Roethlisberger, they always make the playoffs. And for the Colts, they need to get there. And a lot of times they have to go through Pittsburgh. I think going on the road is a big winning boost for them. They haven't done that in, 12 years? So I think today is another big test for the Colts on where they want to be versus a very good Pittsburgh team.
All right, what do you think, Charlie? Big deal or no big deal?
Huge deal, AC. I'm going to go even back further. 95-96, Ken Dilger's rookie year, the ghosts of Three Rivers Stadium, the Hail Mary to Aaron Bailey that fell incomplete, and then 10 years later, you just say the name Nick Harper, you know what I'm talking about, followed by the Mike Vanderjack shank that ended up in Kokomo. This team is cursed against the Steelers, let's just say it. But it can all change today with a win.
All right, so you guys say big deal, right? Ken?
Yep.
Charlie, big deal?
Big deal.
I say this, no big deal. I mean, the guy who's calling the shots, Phillip Rivers. I mean, it wasn't like he's played for the Colts the past 5 times they played against the Steelers. I personally think it's no big deal. I mean, look, these guys, they know what's on the line here today. I mean, yes, they're shorthanded on the offensive line, but look, they know they need to win this game to try to just control their own destiny as far as making the postseason. I don't think it's a big deal. It's not like you're dealing with a team that has a whole bunch of players who've been on this team forever, and every time they go to Pittsburgh, they lose. And as I said right at the start, Phillip Rivers, I mean, he's a quarterback. Last time I checked, first time he's been with the Colts in Pittsburgh, so I don't think it's a big deal. Number 2, if the playoffs started, I'm serious, the playoffs started today, the Colts would begin play away from home. Would that be a big deal or no big deal for this team? Kim, what do you think?
Well, AC, it was any other year besides 2020, I would say this is a big deal. But, with no fans there, I'm going to say it's no big deal. You go on the road, let things travel in the playoffs, a good running game and a good defense. Things the Colts have. They're a very balanced team. Would you want to go to Buffalo and play them right now? No, I don't think so. But I think going on the road is no big deal this year.
All right, so you say it's no big deal. What do you think, Charlie? Big deal or no big deal?
Ken, hang on a second. Let's project out where these road trips would be. As you said, Buffalo in January, no. Coming back here, roll the dice again. You think this weather is going to be sunshine and dry conditions in Pittsburgh, where you're 0-5 against the Steelers all time in the postseason? I don't like that either. I think this is a huge deal based on the weather for Phillip Rivers. I want him in a dome where it's warm if I'm Nick Sirianni, and that's not going to happen if the Colts have to go on the road for Wild Card Weekend.
That's good stuff there. So Ken says no big deal. Charlie says big deal. I'm hanging with Charlie on this one. I think it is a big deal. I mean, I think it goes back to kind of what he said, Phillip Rivers. And, I mean, look, places you have to go, maybe possibly on the road, Buffalo, Pittsburgh possibly again. I think they want to try to control their own destiny again and somehow try to win this division, and you can have a game at home. So I think it'd be tough. I mean, trying to go on the road, even though despite not having the fans, I still think it's better to be in the Lucas Oil Stadium here for this football team to start the playoffs. So, all right, question number 3. The Colts offense has converted 14 of 22 third downs in the past 2 games. Is their recent success a big deal or no big deal? What do you think, Ken?
I'm going to say it is a big deal. We talked about this all season long. The Colts struggling on third down. How can they be more efficient? Once you move the chains, you eat up more clock. You take away the other opportunities for the other offense. So I think getting a better efficiency on third down now, week 16, hopefully week 17, into the playoffs, is a big deal.
What do you think, Charlie? Big deal or no big deal?
I'm going no big deal. We shouldn't be jumping for joy. This is the formula that Frank Reich put in place. You don't have the game breakers on the outside for those huge plays that are just going to change the game on a dime. So, yes, going to 8, 9, 10 different receivers every game, being efficient on third down. This is what you signed up for if you're Phillip Rivers. And, yes, it was a slow start on third down to start the season. But at this point, you need this. Okay, this is expected with 2 games to go.
Charlie, I know it was a long drive to Pittsburgh. Did you get some sleep last night? Because I think.
You kidding me? We're in bed at 8 o'clock.
I think it was a big deal. I think this is a big deal. I mean, anytime you can get the job done on third downs, and Ken knows, he played in the NFL, he played in playoff games. He knows how critical that is going into the postseason, being able to convert on third downs and come up with some big plays. So, yeah, I think it's a big deal. So, Ken and I both think it's a big deal. Charlie doesn't think it's a big deal. We'll see what happens. But big deal, according to yours truly. Charlie, thank you so much, man. More with Charlie there live at Hinesville coming up here on Countdown to Kickoff.